YouTube, Rook here from Rook Geek Goodness, my little channel on the web for all things geeky and cool. And welcome guys to another Funko review. A rather cute Funko review, I do know. Something a little bit different, something not really in my wheelhouse, something out of left field, so to speak. But I completed a full wave of the Pusheen pops with me and my girl over SuperCon weekend. We just needed the Super Pusheenicorn, which is this guy right here. And Pusheen sort of took the world as a phenomenon back in 2010. So a little history lesson of Pusheen, just to get you guys caught up. I'm reading off of Wikipedia, so if you're curious where I got the information from, yes, it may not be completely accurate, but this is off of Wikipedia. Pusheen is based on a female cat, a cartoon character that was really built as comic strips and as sticker sets on 2010. It really blew up on Facebook. It's really picked up steam. It was created by Claire Belton and Andrew Duff for their comic strip off their website, and that's how Pusheen got so big so fast. It became a cultural phenomenon, as I mentioned before, and they're so cute. I always see them on Hot Topics. They're all over the place. Books A Million has them. They have plushes, and every single time I see them out in the wild, I always go Pusheen, because it just sounds so funny, rolling off the tongue, so to speak. But we're going to do a full review of the entire Pusheen wave. I have all the pops here of that wave. There's a total of 6 pops in the wave. There's a bit of variation, a bit of variance to them, and I'll talk about some of the variants as I go into a breakdown segment. Speaking of breakdowns, we'll do a full breakdown review of all these pops. We'll look at the packaging and presentation, and look at the design, and conclude in final thoughts for you, the viewer, should you pick up the full Pusheen wave you see before you hear pops number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and of course 16. Stay tuned guys, we're going to a breakdown. Alright guys, we're in a breakdown segment looking at the full wave of the Pusheens, number 11, 12, and 13, at least this portion of the video. I got to readjust the camera to get the next 3 in. So let's look at these ones first. The very first thing we do in a breakdown segment is look at the packaging and design, and these 3 in particular have very unique design and presentation, mainly because of side-loaded packaging that you see. Now you're going to ask me, Rook, what do you mean by side-loaded packaging? The packaging is a little different in your standard Funko Pop, meaning it's not in this sort of orientation, this way it looks up and down. It's on its side like this, as you see here. A lot of Funko products have used this design in the past. I can tell you that the Disney Cars Pops does this all the time. I know that Jurassic Park has done that as well for several of their dinosaurs. So it's a different sort of presentation style that Funko has taken with these Pusheen. So let's first look at the very top one. First and foremost is Pusheen number 11, the Pusheenicorn. I'll move these 2 off to the side so we can look at this one first. This happens to be a Funko Shop exclusive. Now the normal Pusheenicorn doesn't look like this as far as it's what we call a variant. The color scheme's a little different. The sculpt and design is identical, just the paint is different colors. You do have the Funko Shop exclusive sticker right there, number 11, pop logo, number 11 right there, and then of course the sticker. Pusheenicorn, nice little picture of Pusheenicorn. You have the shot right there, which is a side shot of her. The Pusheenicorn listed at the top with the number 11 and the pop logo. And on the back is the thing I want to bring your attention to, is the way it looks here. If you notice, there's some yellow in the middle of the tail and on the hair. On this one, there is no yellow at all on this pop. You have some teal in place of where the yellow would be, and the pink is a different position as well. You have pink on top and pink on bottom. You have teal in the middle for both the hair on top and the hair on the tail, I believe. Yeah, in the middle. That's what I thought it was. So it's a little different presentation compared to the normal Pusheenicorn, what you would see here. When I get these guys out of packaging, I'll put the Pusheenicorn and of course the Pusheen Mermaid side by side, the box, so you can see what I'm talking about. It's a little bit different variation. Again, the sculpt is identical, and of course you have all the Pusheens that are available in the wave. There are 6 total Pusheens that are in this, at least first wave of Pusheen. I don't know if they're going to make any more past this particular wave, but I can tell you there's 6 that were in this wave, which is what we're looking at the entire wave. Next, let's take a look at number 12, which is the Pusheenosaurus. This is your standard Pusheenosaurus. These are all common pops. You have pop here, number 12 on the corner, which is right there. You have Pusheenosaurus right there. You have a nice picture of the Pusheenosaurus. At the top, Pusheenosaurus number 12. Side shot, same deal. And of course, right there, Pusheenosaurus, and on this one as well, might have gotten the top twice. The back, of course, we have the Pusheenosaurus, nice picture, same one you saw on this side. And of course, all the pops are available in that particular wave. Number 13 is another exclusive. This is a Books A Million or BAM exclusive. You have the pop symbol, number 13, the Books A Million sticker right there. You have the Pusheen Mermaid right there. Nice shot of her face. This is what she would normally look like. There's the top of the packaging. The back, there's something on the side of the packaging with Pusheen Mermaid number 13. And again, we'll get a close shot here. If you notice notice the color, there's a lot of teal in the tail or light blue color. On the Pusheen mermaid here, you do not have that. And yeah, she has a yellow star, same yellow star right here on her face. The real difference is near the tail area. There's a lot of pinks and purples on the tail. This one just has a little bit pink on the top of the tail, which is right here, and a lot of aqua or blue color. So I'm going to make a cut real quick and bring the other three in to continue the breakdown. Alright guys, we have our next set of pops, number 14, 15, and 16, the Super Dragon Sheen, Super Pusheen, and of course normal Pusheen. So let's look at them one at a time. Let's go pop number 14 first, which is the Dragon Sheen. Great packaging for this one. Again, this is the up and down packaging. It's not on its side like the other three we're looking at. This is pop number, of course, 14 right there. It does have the pop. If you notice, I didn't show it on the side-loaded packaging. The embroidering on the side looks a little bit different. It's sort of showing different cartoon images of the Pusheens in different colors. Looks really, really cool. You can see it on this side, right on the backdrop of the Pusheen on the Dragon Sheen. Looks very, very cool. Got a shot right there. On the back, it looks very, very noticeable. You have pink here, sort of like a light blue color in the background. Of course, all the pops that are available in the wave, and nice shot of the Dragon Sheen right there holding his egg, or rather holding her egg, number 14. Number 15 is Super Pusheen, which is the white one, has a star moon on the side, which we'll talk more about in the full unboxing portion of this video, because there's a lot to really unpack sort of with this particular pop. It does have pop here at the top, number 15. Again, very similar packaging to the other ones that we've seen. When you have the sort of backdrop here, the light colored pink in the backdrop, sort of the teal right there. Does say Super Pusheen on this side, pop 15. Nice shot of her right there. All the pops are available in that particular wave. What I didn't talk about it right there is the little Pusheen logo right here. It does have that in all 6 of the pops. I sort of glanced over that by mistake. So it looks very, very cool. Again, Super Pusheen, pop number 15. And of course, last but not least, the one who started it all, Pusheen herself. Again, this is pop number 16. You have pop logo right here, number 16 right there. Nice shot of Pusheen. You have the Pusheen words, nice window box display. You have a nice shot of her right here on the side, does say pop. Over here does say Pusheen, and the back of the packaging has Pusheen and all the pops that are available in that particular wave. Let's get all 6 of these guys out of packaging and continue with the breakdown. Alright guys, we have all of our Pusheens out of packaging. The very first thing we do when we take something out of packaging is look at the paint and presentation. These guys are very, very cool because they're very different when it comes to Funko. They're not your standard pops. They're very smaller in design. The form factor is much tinier. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space, but these are very, very neat. Let's take a look first and foremost at the Pusheen Mermaid. Again, as I mentioned before, it's a Funko Shop exclusive right here. Now, if you notice, the color, as I mentioned earlier, is a bit different comparatively speaking. If you look at the box presentation of it, you'll see a lot more of yellows on this than what's on the packaging, because that's by design. This is a paint, what they call a paint variant. It's a little bit different comparatively speaking. It looks really, really cool. Again, you have a Pusheen face here. You got the nice little unicorn horn. You get the whiskers coming off the side. Again, there's no yellow here. You have teal where the yellow would be, and both the top of the hair and on the tail plume. Looks very, very clean. No issues with the pop. Again, very, very small form factor with the side-loaded packaging. All the Pusheens themselves, all of them, all 6 of them, are very, very tiny. They don't take up a whole lot of space. That's why I think it's very, very cool collectible pieces, because it doesn't take a whole lot of space on a shelf. Even in the packaging, it still doesn't take a lot of area, and I like that. Even if you want to take them out of packaging, you're going to cut the packaging enormously down, because if you look at the Pusheen here versus the packaging, much different size when it comes to how much space, how much real estate it takes up on your shelf. If you went from, let's say, this to this, much less space to worry about. If you're an out-of-box collector, you might want to do something along those lines. Next, we'll take a look at right here at the Pusheenosaurus. Of course, this is Pusheen as a dinosaur, sort of like a stegosaurus. You have the ridges going across its back. You have ridges on the tail. You have the cute little face in the front with little whiskers again coming off of this one. All sort of a light, like a mint green color going across the entire pop. Does look really, really nice. No blemishes. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Very small form factor. Fits in your hand with no issues. Doesn't need a figure stand. Again, very cool design with that side-loaded packaging in mind. Last but not least, we have to look at the Pusheen Mermaid. Now this one, very similar to the Pusheen is an exclusive pop. meaning it's a different type of paint variant. It's very similar to the packaging, but you have, let's say, teal on this packaging when there's no teal at all on this one. You have a light pink and a purple, not on this one. You have a little bit of like a purplish color here. Right here is a different sort of color between what this is here, this ridge, and these ridges, sort of a different color. You have, again, this pink where it's all aqua and black. The netting here is a different color. I believe they're using a different, it looks like a different variation too. What it looks like here, you have what looks like scales going across it. It might be a little bit more variant than I thought. It might be hard to notice here, but there's some, looks like webbing here or scales. It doesn't show scaling on this one. It has this little blue, or excuse me, you have the teal and it has the little black ridges. I'm not sure if that one looks like this sort of design right here, or if it's like this design. I'm not 100% sure. Again, don't quote me on that. But this is what they call a BAM, or a Books A Million exclusive, and it looks very, very good. Again, it has a little star right there on his face. Again, it's considered a mermaid. The tail kind of swooshes down. Love the way it looks. Very cool, classy look. Again, doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Very small form factor. When you go from, let's say, the box again here to this, much less space is used. If you're at a box collector, again, this might be something up your alley. Next, let's take a look at the 3 pops that were in straight packaging, straight up and down packaging. Let's look at the Dragon Sheen, this guy right here. Very cute looking. Again, I believe this happens to be a Barnes & Noble's exclusive you can get. The one I have is not the Barnes & Noble's exclusive. It's the standard one, as we've shown on the packaging right here. No real big difference between the normal version and the exclusive, except I believe it's a paint variant, and he's holding a ruby instead of an egg. Again, this is the common version. I do like this one. It's Pusheen as a dragon. He has very cool looking wings. They do not articulate. There's no movement here. The tail does not move. He just, it's a staction piece. Looks super cute, holding his little egg. Cute little face. Look at that face. It's so adorable. Looks so cute. He does stand with no issues, no problems. Again, since these Pusheens are so small, they don't take up a whole lot of space. The form factor, again, is very, very tiny. Love the way the Pusheens look. Again, the Dragon Sheen, normal version, not the exclusive. Next, let's go to Super Pusheenicorn, which is the white one here with the purple and pink tail. I like this one a lot, but there's a little bit to talk about in that particular figure, because there's a little bit of difference between what I think the packaging is and what this pop really brings to the table, and that really has to do with the purple color, mainly from his purple moon. I mentioned it at the beginning of the breakdown. This purple moon here doesn't look as purple right here. I don't know the reason why. I don't know if it's the box art. Me and my girl looked at it and kind of threw us off a little bit, and we were a little confused by it, but the Super Pusheenicorn looks very, very cool. Love the way it looks. This is probably the biggest out of them all. I would say, it's even bigger than the Dragon Sheen, and of course it's much bigger than the standard Pusheen. But the Super Pusheenicorn does look very, very good. This is pop number 15. Again, small form factor, pink tail. You have purple going across the mane right here with a little bit pinks right there. I'll kind of get a side shot so you can see what it looks like right there. Cute little face. He sort of have his little knobby little hands out. They all have these little knobby little hands, except the ones that are on the side mount, which is the side loaded ones, all use they're on all fours. These ones are standing on 2 legs, and you have 2 arms for all of them. So for Dragon Sheen has that, for the Super Pusheenicorn, and of course we'll get to Pusheen in a second. So they're standing on 2 legs, and you have 2 little arms. That's the idea. Wings do not articulate. Wings are out. There is no other paint here on the wings, but it still looks great. Again, doesn't take a whole lot of space up. Love the way they look. Last but not least is your standard Pusheen, the one that started it all, the very cute little kitty cat. It started in 2010. He has, of course, his little legs right here and his little arms. Cute little face. His tail sort of wraps around the bottom right here. It is sort of it's patterned, so it goes dark, light, which is what the Pusheen character is in the comic strips. Nice little whiskers. No blemishes on the paint. Looks very, very cute. So that was Pusheen number 16. We have the Super Pusheenicorn number 15, and the Dragon Sheen, which is number 14. So you have 14, 15, 16. Let me see if I can bring in all 3 of them here to get all 6 in this shot. I think it'd be a very cool shot to have here. So this is all 6 of them together on one little platform. Again, they look very, very cute. Love the way the Pusheen Pops look. I highly recommend getting them. If you're into Pusheen, this might be something up your alley. And with that being said, let's go to final thoughts and wrap up this video. All right, guys, final thoughts on the Funko Full Pusheen series number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. I recommend picking up this full wave. We have a lot of cool stuff happening in these Funko Pops. We have standard Pops, as you see here. We have these really cool side-loaded packaging Pops, which you don't see all the time. We saw them with the Cars Pops. We saw them with Jurassic Park, and now we, of course, see them in Pusheen. I think they're really, really good. If you're a cat fan, if you're a fan of cool comic strips, really neat artwork, this might be a series for you. Now, if you're strapped for cash and want to get maybe a couple of them, which ones would I recommend? Definitely the standard Pusheen. Your normal Pusheen, which has basically kicked off all of the craze for Pusheen, of course, in 2010. I would get this one, which is Pop number 16. I think this is a very cool one because it's your standard traditional Pusheen. The other one I would really recommend is maybe the Pusheenicorn, which is this one here. This is, of course, is a variation, I believe, yeah. This is the Funko limited edition version you can get off the Funko shop. The standard Pusheenicorn doesn't look like this. It looks like the one on the back of the packaging. This one is much more drab with the colors. There's more pinks on this one and whites, as opposed to the one you see back here, which is Pop number 11. This is a little bit harder to find just because it's a limited edition. Again, there's a lot of variations with these Pusheens. Of course, we talked about the Dragon Sheen, which is this one right here, which was I believe, a Barnes & Noble's version, which I believe is a different color, but he's holding a gem instead of an egg. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong there, but don't quote me on that. I think it was a Barnes & Noble's one. Again, also one of the things we talked about in the breakdown segment, which was, of course, the Super Pusheenicorn, which I think maybe, and I talked about in other videos, where I think the heart, the moon shaped, a crescent moon, a purple, I don't think it's as bright as it is the packaging. Maybe it's just mine. I don't know if it's a quality control issue per se, but I don't think it's as bright as the packaging's purple you see there, just to let you guys know now. But if you wanted to buy two of them, go with the Pusheenicorn and, of course, the normal Pusheen. So I hope you liked this full video review of the Pusheen wave number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Remember to click that like button. Always click subscribe. When you subscribe, click the bell icon to notify the latest videos. Of course, last but not least, you can click windows over here to watch more of my content. Take care, guys. See you next video, and bye-bye.